Is it on?
Yeah, we're rolling.
So what happened with Tubi?
So I see. This is what happens. Tubi is king. It's the anti-Netflix, the anti-Amazon. Independent filmmakers can make money because they have commercials. So of course, when something isn't broke, they try to fix it.
Yeah.
So I got the email this morning from my distributor to do to say, there's a new CEO. We're congratulating the new CEO of Tubi.
Great.
And you may have noticed your revenue sharing has dropped lately, which I'm like, something's wrong.
We're gonna take that.
So, but here's the good news for us. They're focusing, number one, on series, which I have noticed this. Like if you notice in Netflix, Amazon, there's a lot of, when you search the first page, what am I going to watch?
Yeah.
Now I'm saying it, pay attention.
Right.
There'll be a lot more series that they're showing you to check out.
Interesting.
So I guess marketing has taught them that they feel that the audience engages.
Well, it's less to put in. It's less time to do.
That's what it is.
Yeah. It's like pilot. Oh, we're serious. We have an audience.
Because no one has any time to do anything.
Right.
I don't have any time I don't watch anything. When I sit down at night, I have 45 minutes.
They got stuff out there that's only, they said that they brought them on, they have 4 episodes of a 12-episode
That's
season.
all you need.
But they haven't even finished the rest of them.
I know. So you get into the story.
And you're waiting for it. Now it's like, when is this thing going to be out?
I know.
And then, I don't even know if it comes out.
So anyway, so that was a little bit of good news. Not that we're going to be.
No.
I don't think we will. I think we're going to stay with YouTube because that's the future. I don't care what anybody says. But so that was the good news of it. They're focusing on series, which is great.
Right.
Because I think Roosters, why make it a feature? It doesn't need to end.
No.
Just the chapter needs to end.
No.
The screenplay, I don't know how long, I can't remember. I think the movies the screenplay is around 90 minutes, which is too long for today. It's too long. So it actually works out. We'll make it a series. We can shoot more efficiently that way. And then we can carry the story. The story starts in the 70s. Then the second part, which has been done, basically the setup, takes place another 10 years plus, 15 years plus. And then we can do that, and then we can come all the way up to today because the story works. Getting back to Tubi. And I think this is the whole industry. So anyway, so this guy comes in, they're going to focus on series, but the main thing is they're going to focus on their original content. Have you noticed it? Have you watched any Tubi?
So that's
There's a little. If you look at the things, you'll see a little tag, and it says Tubi Original.
Right. That's what they all want to do.
They all want to do it. So they want to be Prime. They want to be Netflix. They want to say their own. But the joke of it is, I don't know if you've seen any, and I would never put down a fellow artist, filmmaker or anything, but because it's corporate, I feel that it's open license to say it sucks.
Yeah, well, they're building compounds. They're building sets. They're taking everything away from Hollywood. Not that it was great or whatever, but like they're building their own compounds from the set to the design to everything. The whole thing is like it's like a mini studio. And each one, Netflix has one. You got stars out there creating their own ones.
Yep.
They're buying these big data centers, and they're just self-containing stuff.
Yes.
And they're like, we're going to write our own scripts, we're going to draw our own stuff, we'll get our own people, we'll get our own actors, and now it's our original. Forget you creative, you creative. Will you
totally
work for
us.
us? You work for us,
It's
corporate?
mine, all mine.
Corporate, or we don't need you?
It's almost like Hollywood used to be. Right, the Universal sets,
Yep.
Judy Garland, right?
Yep.
When
That's exactly where it's going back to.
That's where it's going back
like
to.
Full circle.
But what I don't understand is, I keep hitting this light. What I don't understand is why you had a golden nugget. You were the independent king. You were rising above when everybody was saying, Tubi, what's that? They were rising above because they had just enough commercials that they made it not annoying, right? You could watch a movie and say, okay, yeah, I gotta get something to drink. So they would throw 2 commercials every 20 minutes or something, right? They had the formula down. That's why people were using it. If you come in and change it, and I noticed it, I was like, does this seem like there's more commercial breaks all of a sudden? And then I found out that they were bought. So I was like, okay, they're raising the commercials, which is starting to turn annoying. And now they want their own content because they're all like beating their chest. They want to be some, and why would you want to be like them when the reason that you were exploding is because you weren't like them. You were the alternative, and now what? And all it is that the originals that I've seen are, oh God, cliched storylines. At least in the horror, because I only watch horror. Cliched, done 1,000 times. With the, it's a drone shot and an Ari, and it's like they pumped up the equipment. The acting is, I'm not too worried about that, but I mean the story is just the same old run-of-the-mill thing, throwing the ingredients. It's just like the old. I'm telling you, I always go back to the music career, like back in the '80s, where once some band did something, everybody else, and it's always been like that, not just the '80s, right? When the Beatles came over, all of a sudden everybody had to look like the Beatles. And so it's like, it's just, why? Why do people change? This is the problem. That's why there's no original content, because you can't survive to get it to the audience.
And it's a barrier of entry. I mean, if you look at like all the regulations and all this, you need permits, you need all this other stuff. It's like they created this environment that they're now going to bypass and let everyone else fend for themselves.
Well, that was they shut us all down. I mean, when we did the hit, we were grateful to use George's property.
Right.
I mean, because I wanted to shoot 15 seconds of the actual lake. They wanted to charge me $1,500.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's even like even in our state, they say they're creating these film-worthy towns.
Yeah.
For $100,000 permit, you can shoot an hour.
They put it out there saying, we're going to help the fellow
independent filmmaker.
Come to New Jersey.
Yeah, we're with a $40,000 budget, and but $100,000 of that is just so you can do it.
When I called one of the entities, I don't want to say which one, they hung up on me.
Really?
Yeah. I got to go, she says.
Okay.
I'm in a, and then I emailed her the next day and I said, I was the guy that I just wanted to have a question with.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, because when she's on the phone, I'm waiting for, and this is made a point to tell me.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, I'm waiting from a phone call from AMC Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So AMC Plus, but the guy that lives in walking distance from where I'm talking to you, I'm not worthy.
Amazing.
So, anyway, so the point is, which I knew was happening, that's why I rushed to get the hit done and up on Tubi, because God forbid anybody pay for anything, because they don't.
Right.
And that's fine, free TV. But I knew it was going to change. I knew it was coming, and sure enough, they were exploding up on the market, and there was rumblings back when, and all the other ones, Netflix, Amazon, they're all going, what happened? We got to be like these guys.
Yep.
So they're all coming with a free version or an ad version, at least a cheaper. They have a cheaper version to join, but you have to watch ads, and because they couldn't compete. So what does Tubi do? I know. Let's change the success, and so they're going to drive it in the ground. Their content is basically the hallmark of Netflix. It's like just that. You know what you're getting. Nothing's wrong with Hallmark.
Right.
But I mean, if you wanted to watch a Christmas show, where do you turn on Hallmark? You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
One after the other.
Sure.
So the good news, we don't care.
No. So Roosters won't be on Tubi.
Roosters, well, maybe. Well, we'll shoot the whole.
It might be.
It might be.
Not right away.
If they give us a nice deal.
That's true. I shouldn't say that.
But we're excited to get back to Roosters.
It's happening again. Right?
It's happening.
It's on.
And the best part about it is what we're going to do. We don't have to worry about any rules. We're going to shoot it. We shoot in camera if we can, but if not, it'll be black. I'll point it because am I still recording? Yeah, that's kind of. I don't know if I'm in focus.
That's what we're looking for.
I don't know if I'm in focus, but it's going to look like that. And if you're watching this on, if this is on the Roosters YouTube channel, you could see the test shots we've done.
Yep.
But I'll put it in the description anyway.
It's like
I don't know where this is going.
The never-ending untold story.
And it could go on and on and on.
There's nothing that we can't. I mean, we could just take
turn on the news and say, oh yeah, let's do something like that.
It writes itself. Every day it writes itself.
It writes itself, and because of the industry is changing into getting more and more over the top. That's why when I called you the other day, we decided there's a very hardcore scene in the script that originally...
I just got chills like thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm literally chills because it's like the imagery that just in my head alone that I know we can recreate.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, but it's way over the top.
It's way... No one has done it.
But it's been talked about. It might have been, and you would assume it's been in a movie. If there's one out there where they did it live, a pretty popular movie. And but not into the fashion that this will be done.
Yeah.
The act in itself has been done.
Yes,
but
I'm sure.
But not in this crucifying, horrific way.
No.
And for what purpose?
Yeah, people betting on it.
Exactly.
We just got. We have to find the actors who actually perform this act.
I mean, it's in the book. I mean, it's in the described, book. And you can put 2 and 2 together there.
Yeah.
But
it's in the book. It's in the script. Yeah, it's in the book, which is on Amazon, which is got bashed.
I thought it was well written, and I thought, I mean, when you translate it to a screenplay and it wins awards,
well, that's the thing.
The story is good.
Yeah, I mean, it was not. I am not a writer. I'm a storyteller.
Right.
So I'm not trying to get a Nobel Prize for writing.
No, I mean, all the details, the wolves, the big, the. I mean, if you have a visual mind, that story can run wild, and we're going to show it. We're going to show it visually.
And that's what we always try to do it. And that's what we did with The Hid. We tried to shoot a story,
right,
and not have to. Billy Shire, who takes his legs and dips them into dry ice to dissolve them. It's spoken,
right.
That creates the image in your mind when Sarah Jane Pickett describes him as this gigantic 7-foot creature with a big squirrely head and long street. I mean, if I would have shown that, wouldn't you have laughed? Well, I would have laughed. Because there's nothing that I can see on film anymore when they spend all this money on some special effects to create a monster. It's hilarious to me. And that's one of the reasons we're doing it in black and white, because if I'm walking around in a top hat in color, I don't know how that's going to sell.
No, well, we know the imagery works. I mean, the opening scene, right? What do we call it? The trailer. I mean, if that doesn't hit home, that's hit home with everyone who's seen it.
Everyone who sees it says, "I want to know. I want to know more."
Yeah, and that was before sort of these topics were even in society.
We were just, and when we started this, we were kind of like, well, yeah.
It was a good story, but it's like, that'll never happen. Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. And we figured we'd never be able to shoot it.
No. But on what you said about the visual, right? So there's a visual aspect there with someone with like creativity in a mind that can understand it, visualize it. I think with this one, what you were talking about with the ice and the knees and the imagery, that we probably might give a little bit more.
We'll have to. No, that's what I learned.
Let lease up into interpretation and see the visual thing that's going to pretty much freak you out.
If I would have showed Billy Shire sticking his legs into a dry ice to dissolve his legs, and if I put that imagery on film, The Hid would be talked about like evil lurks.
Right.
Okay?
And the minute and the excruciating pain, the way you film, the way you do things, and drag it out and make it uncomfortable.
I just thought I want my audience to be smarter than that. I mean,
it was a story. It was a good story.
And it's like, well, so like and the people who get it.
Right.
But then the people who like trash it, there was one guy, I forget, but you could tell he used a chatbot just to
redo it.
Yeah, I could see the words are like, wait
a minute. Let me tell them they suck.
And then tell this movie suck, go. And it was the same words I saw in all his things. I'm like, this seems very.
It was. It was based on a what do you call it? A true story.
A true story, yeah. And this guy was like saying, he tried to make an attempt for Legend of Boggy Creek. I'm like, that's
No.
a Bigfoot story.
No.
Dude.
No.
So obviously he didn't get it, didn't watch
There's
it.
an actual reservoir.
Yeah,
There's rumors.
It's really all this stuff is real. All the deaths in that movie are really happened. But
and I think what you wanted to accomplish the goal of getting a 55-minute or whatever it ended up being done. And
actually, that was 74 minutes.
Oh wow!
That was my longest.
So even long. So one of the longest ones you've had out there.
Yeah, I don't like to be over an hour.
Through the system, figured out all the inner workings.
I've worked with top-notch talent.
Yep.
I know how it works. We can do it. We're going to do it so we can do it. We're going to break it down. We're going to do a lot of sets.
And
I mean,
I'm like giddy about it because
I know.
because they don't know what they don't know.
they don't know. They don't know what's coming.
So and we're and we're gonna tease it a little bit. It's
We're going to flush it out.
Yeah.
We're going to take the main story. Obviously, it's there. It's an award-winning script. Why not? We're going to do the main story correct. We're going to add some characters. I have some other players I'd like to bring in. We're going to flush things out.
right.
We're going to
There's a lot of side stories, a lot of
side
supporting stories.
And if it's going to be series, let's
Right, and you might, it's like you're going to piece this together.
Yeah,
it's going to piece together, and at the end of it, it's all going to make perfect sense.
Yeah, it's going to make perfect sense, and then you're going to want to know what happens.
And you're going to go back and rewatch it.
Yes.
You're like, wait a minute, didn't they put that up? What? Who's? Oh,
I missed that. Oh, let me watch it again. Yeah.
And I think those are the best stories when you
Yeah.
have to go back and watch it again.
Yes.
I mean, how many? Oh yeah, that was a good story. Wait a minute, like it's always not that this is the craziest twist in the world, but I mean there is twists.
Yes. But what I think it also does, it's a great cliffhanger because you're going to want to know, well,
Right.
wait a minute,
Yeah.
now what happens?
Right.
And we're going to give it to them. We're going to say, okay, you want to know what happens? This is what happens. We're going to keep going. And now we're 10 years ahead. Now the characters are older. Maybe it's 20 years ahead. Who knows? But we're going to keep going till we bring it up to present day. And we're going to have flashbacks to way back.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, not to date me, but it's going to be Knots Landing in a really dark way. Because that's, it's a story about a family, really.
And just to back up, we were there, right? And then the pandemic hit, and
We were there. We were going to do it.
right. It was in the works. The
we
next
were shooting
scene,
scenes.
written, the story was written. It was out to the actors.
Pandemic came, shut it down, and it was just...
We lost the older woman, right, off the bat.
Yeah.
Just out of what do they call it? Abundance of safety and caution.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the younger ones, and then we're like, we can't do this. You and I tried to shoot remotely. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
We're bored.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah, that's right, we did.
I projected your face. I'm like,
Yes.
I'll get you.
But
it actually kind of turned out weird.
But I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that was weird, but it was
We
good.
have to use that clip.
Yeah, there's somewhere in there.
Yeah, no, that's a great clip. But yeah,
But that's how bored
tried.
we were. I'm like, I don't care. Just shoot something
Just shoot
and
something.
send it over to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make something today. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll get it done.
And we said, yeah, so he actually, you projected me
yeah,
onto
I was like, just talk to me as
put it on a mirror or something.
I put it on the back wall, and then I was looking in the mirror and I was shaving, watching you.
Yes.
And you were haunting me. I was like, look at you, boy.
Oh, it's great. I loved it. It was really scary.
That's awesome.
So that's why we just wanted to
Yeah,
start something and
it's happening again.
put it on our YouTube channels. I think Rooster has 17 subscribers. So I mean, we're really
we might have
starting
8 after this.
We're really
It's
rolling.
all right though. It's about the beginning and where it starts, and then people come back and see it. So we know where this is headed.
Yeah.
Because we've explored a lot of other things out there. You've been on the real stages and been all over the place, New York City, everywhere. You know the stories. We always wanted to shoot something like this, like would you say, like more of a play style, but it's not. It's what would you call it, like?
It's like masterpiece theater.
Yeah.
Where there's sets and there's live action. There's actually location shots, but a lot of it, because of it works in our favor.
Right.
But because of the way that the system works, and you have a great location.
Right.
We can recreate. I mean, people don't realize 90% of what they watch is on a stage.
Right.
Somewhere.
For sure.
And that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to build it. It's a lot of fun to build a set.
I mean, sitcoms. You're talking about 10 seasons of sitcoms in the same apartment building.
Yeah.
You mix in a little bit and even in the car scenes, they have
Yeah.
it's so obvious that
it's so obvious.
it's not real. And it's okay.
It's okay.
Because it's part of the story.
It's all part of the story. Why not? And that's what I love. And it's like, that's why when some people like when they would bash the hit or something, I'm like, well, I guess like if you saw 12 Angry Men,
Yeah.
12 Angry Men, they would have been like, this sucks. And I'm like, well, that's how much you know.
It was almost like a test to test people out, like to see, where people are at.
And I found out.
Yeah, so they're there, and that's fine. That's all right to know.
Yeah.
What are we saying? Roosters.
Well, my working title right now is Roosters 24.
20. Oh, it's Roosters 24. All right.
This when I see the folder on the computer, I go
24.
Yeah, 24. You know what I mean? Because it's on IMDb because we were doing it as a series, so we might have to redo everything, and then you have to. It'll be.
Yeah.
They will list it as Roosters 2024.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I was actually on IMDb this morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, we need more images up there. We have a lot more. So
I know. No, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna update the sites, the YouTube page.
And we'll check it. So this is like, weekly check-in.
Yeah, we're going to get together. We're going to talk about what we're doing. Maybe we'll show you some footage.
And what, from my own personal perspective, is that we allow the fans to be fans.
Yeah.
If you like what we're doing, if you like what we're creating, and you see the process of it and what the end result's going to be, this stuff is pretty cool to see at some point in time.
Yeah, and let us know. You can comment, subscribe,
all that good
share
stuff.
A clip that
you want to hate away because it just helps everything anyway.
We don't care.
No, because we heard it all already.
No.
We know what we're doing.
Yes.
It's not like we're not painting it yellow and saying it's green.
No.
We're saying Roosters.
You can't have a black and white film. No one will watch it.
Okay.
All right. Well, then I guess no one's going to watch it.
Guess nobody will.
It's like you can't shoot with consumer grade. We're going to shoot with every camera we have. We don't care because we like to use multiple cameras.
Always.
Because you never know what you get.
Well, you were very creative with the angles. I learned that when we first started shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, what a difference.
What a difference.
I mean, just the angles, the perspectives, the extra couple seconds here, the not so much extra seconds here, the oddness there. I mean, that's your style.
Yeah.
So
and all you need is 2 seconds.
Yeah, and it's in every film you make. And whether it's, did you have the ability to put it in the hid that much? You kind of had to tell the story.
Yeah.
But there's moments in there where you could see it.
Well, what I did for the hid is, that's what I mean. There's a lot of Easter eggs.
Right.
Like when the entity is he's a youth, a child, not a child, but young. And there's a point in the movie towards the end where you realize, well, wait a minute, who's shooting this? Because the cameras aren't set up anymore. And it's at a different angle, and it's a different look, and it's a different sound, and he laughs, but no one hears him.
Right.
I'm showing you the entity's perspective.
Right.
Now, is anybody going to get that? No. I'll get it, and I'll tell you in a documentary what it is.
Right.
And people can say, hey, you know what that is? And like when you guys first walk in a cabin, who's shooting that?
Right.
Wait a minute, they didn't set the cameras up.
Yeah.
So who is there, and it's like there's little things that go around, and I love to use real stuff, like when Marla uses her 5100.
Yeah.
I figure, well, why mask it? Use the 5100 footage and the audio and have the audios be different than what they record on the cinema cameras, what the handheld looks like, what the entity looks like.
Right.
Have it all different. And you break all the rules. You can't do that. I did it anyway. And that's what we're going to do at Roosters. We're just going to do it. We're going to do it. Well, you'll see it. Well, look at the clip.
Yeah.
And you'll see where did we shoot that scene when I was walking up? Was that Hoboken?
Hoboken. Back alley, off the bat. We were doing the normal. You were in front of a barn door and some other stuff. Let's go see what's happening.
Yeah, so we go down the alley, and I tell him, I was like, don't worry about it. We're going to slow motion.
Yeah.
Because I had it in my head.
Yeah.
And I said, at the very end, I'm going to stop and I'm going to turn. You're going to see the beak. And boy, every time that happens,
I'm just like,
holy cow!
Oh my God, this is going to be insane.
This is
and it was shot that way. It wasn't like it was there, panned up, nice and easy, and timed it, and boom.
One take.
I think we had like. I had to get you walking a little bit there.
Well, that's chimed in. But I mean, that shot was.
But that shot was like, okay, we're going to do the full thing, and I'm going to turn.
Yeah.
Boom. First shot ended up being that. That's it.
Done.
Slow motion.
And that was
titles.
before. That look was before it was popular.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the thing, and there's a lot of things that, because this was what 2019.
Yeah, and like before that, someone may be wearing like, why are you wearing a mask? Why are you wearing a plague mask? Like it doesn't make sense. Maybe now people might be like, Mike, okay, that's something different. But then, that's just weird.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
Well,
he was supposed to be a
in the
rooster.
basement somewhere.
Yeah. And it turned into the whole look.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a shame. But that's how it happens.
Yeah, that is.
But the members, which we need to cast.
Yeah.
We're going to put a casting notice out. it's a lot of fun. I mean, we're talking, people can have some fun that want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Because we need members, which are, crazed,
Right.
top percent, nut jobs.
Yeah. People that want to make a film.
So that's it.
Want to be a part of it.
That's it.
Roosters, 2024.
All right.